Hello everybody, today we're going to learn how to draw a composition of reflections over parallel lines using a ruler. Question number 1, let's say we want to take this point P and reflect it over the line T first, then reflect it over the line W next. Well, the way that we would write that using notation would look something like this, a composition of reflections. So I'd take this point P, reflect over T first. That would give us P prime, then reflect P prime over W to get P double prime. So it's going to look just like what we used to do with reflection. So I'm going to line up my ruler at the 10 mark. Make sure it's lined up perfectly. And I can see it's about 1.8 centimeters away. And that's going to give me P prime. And then I want to do one more reflection. This time I'm going to take that point and reflect over the line W. So again, make sure your 10 mark is lined up nicely. And I'm going to reflect P prime. It's 0.4 centimeters away. To get P double prime. Again, this is if you want to reflect over the line T, then W. Okay, now we want to investigate what the distances are between the parallel lines. So I'm going to line up my ruler so that the 0 mark is lined up really nicely with line T, and then measure from the line T to the line W. I can see that is 2.2 centimeters. From T to W. And now let's look at the distance from P to P double prime. So from our pre-image to our final image. I can see, again, lining up real nicely, from P to P double prime is 4.4 centimeters. So all of this, 4.4 centimeters. Okay, let's compare the distance between the parallel lines. And this symbol means parallel right here, was 2.2 centimeters. And the distance between our pre-image and final image was 4.4 centimeters. What do we notice between these numbers? Well, I noticed that 4.4 is double of 2.2, so the distance increased by twice the distance. So really we're just doubling the distance between the parallel lines. And then how do I know where to measure that 4.4? Would I want to put it over here or somewhere over here? Again, it all goes back to that same idea of reflections. You have to be perpendicular. So you line up your ruler with the marks on the line of reflection. So now let's try this method on number 2. Let's try, instead of doing a double reflection, let's try just using the distance. So again, let's say I wanted to reflect over the line L and then M. So I would reflect here and reflect here. Instead of actually drawing out the double reflection, I'm just going to measure. So when I measure this, I'm getting 4.1 centimeters. I'm going to put that down here. 4.1 centimeters. So that means that the distance I need to slide this little flag over is going to be double. So 2 times 4.1, which is going to give me 8.2 centimeters. Okay, so now if I measure each point perpendicular to the lines of reflection, and I measure out for 8.2 centimeters, that should give me my A double prime. So let's try it. Again, you need to make sure that the tick marks on the ruler are lined up perfectly with the line of reflection. So for example, I would not want to do this because I can see that my lines on the ruler are a little bit crooked. I need to make sure they're lined up perfectly. So right about here looks good. 8.2. This is 8.2 centimeters. So from A to 8 prime should be perpendicular to the line of reflection and 8.2 centimeters away. And now we're just going to do the same thing for all the other points. Okay, so now I've got 4 reflection points, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, and D double prime. The last thing I need to do is connect these image points so that it looks like the original pre-image figure. So in our pre-image, A, B, and D are all collinear, and we know in reflections collinearity remains the same. So these 3 points are still collinear. And then A is connected to C, which is then connected to B. So same idea in our image. I need to connect A double prime to C double prime and C double prime to B double prime. And now I can see if I did this reflection and then a double reflection, this is what I would end up with. And when I look at this, I can see that basically this flag is just kind of sliding up to this position. This is called a translation or a slide. And now we know that a slide or a translation results of a composite reflection over parallel lines. Thanks for watching and good luck with the homework.